Hey, we're
We're
back
back.
again, you know.
Episode 19.
19, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
19.
19 is crazy. We talked about this last episode.
I feel like we've done more, huh?
Yeah, we have done more. I mean, like recent. I don't know.
I
I
feel
mean,
like we've done
because
like 30
if
episodes.
like it feels like we've done like a
Exactly.
lot.
But yeah, I mean, then again, we put quality over quantity.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
You
if
know,
not, we would have,
that's our motto:
exactly.
quality over quantity. But
Exactly. I mean, it's better, right?
exactly, because like you don't want to drop like like a bunch of videos that are just like horrible, and then
Exactly.
you want to drop like good videos that are like good. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
because looking back, after we remember the first episode we were going to record about that?
Yeah,
I had the footage still after you left, and I was just looking at it. And I was dying
yeah.
just looking at it. Like we were talking about the education system,
Exactly.
and there was one point where we weren't like even we didn't even know what we were talking about.
Exactly. We
It was that
we were
bad.
just like talking about stuff. And then I think like I think probably like about like episode it was probably like episode 5 maybe like when we started like getting good. It was when we started
Yeah,
doing like that in person
yeah.
the
Like after like what was it like episode 9 or something or something like
it
no
was the
11,
it
11.
was the Jennifer episode.
Yeah, the one with Jordan. That was like the first one.
Because that was like we actually did talk about like some meaningful and important stuff, you know.
I guess that was like the start over you know.
Actually doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, because
That was like a test drive at first, and now we
exactly.
actually like,
Now we're getting into things, you
exactly.
know.
But I mean, speaking of guests,
And talking about thinking about last episode, comedy,
yeah, comedy and humor. It wasn't about comedy, but it was about
but
humor, you know.
humor.
And we talked about different humors and like how we react and how we like portray humor and stuff like that, you know. And now we have somebody who's actually like paid to make people laugh, you know. And like for most guests, we have a script. This is actually like a real script because like you know,
He put into much thought into
yeah,
it.
I did put in a lot of
It's that
thought.
serious.
It is that serious, and he's been like a father figure in my life, So we have somebody very special today. Let me make sure I spelled everything correct. But basically, I Mike Estime. Mike Estime is a well-known comedian who has starred in many shows, but most famously known, Everybody Hates Chris, and as well as the Bernie Mac show. He's also still on the Upshaws. They haven't kicked him off yet. Um, he plays Tony in the Upshaws. My bad. I kind of confused Risky and
He,
Tony because
nah, and he said Rusky.
Rusky between Tony and like you get the O and the I mixed correct.
Rusky.
Mike also has like a fellow podcast. It's called the Scary Funny Podcast. It's about comedians who
Check
talk
it
about
out. It's actually really good. I
yeah,
listened
it's
to it.
on all platforms, isn't it? Spotify, Apple
Yeah.
Music, and probably Google Podcast. I don't know what that is.
Google. What is wrong with you in making fun of
I
Google
don't
and
know,
Android?
Android's just. But he's also a comedian, stars in shows. He actually has a show later. Well, I guess it's not later tonight when this is aired. But if you could like, go back in time, go to a show and stuff like that. And he's also a devoted father, maybe, I don't know, like a husband too. Yeah, yeah, he's a physical trainer and keeps up with his body and stuff like that. He's also my soccer coach. He actually took us to Sweden, a bunch of black and Hispanic kids to Sweden to play in a tournament that we lost, but it's all right. Introducing Mike Estime.
That was
That
the
was the
most
most
interesting
interesting
backhanded
backhanded
compliment,
compliment.
Yeah.
well,
Uh,
introduction I've ever had, man. He's like, yeah, he's a devoted
He's a
father,
devoted
maybe.
father,
I don't
maybe.
know.
I don't know.
That's what he
That's what
said.
he
Yeah,
said.
man.
Wow.
But I
That's
mean, I want
hilarious.
to start this off by like an actual, like actual rundown of your life, because this 7 line paragraph was not really like a direct rundown of like who you are and how you came to be, because you are like one of our most uh probably like famous. I don't know. Jen did have like
Yeah.
50,000
But
subscribers.
but
You've lived the longest life. You're old. I mean, not old, but
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks.
yeah.
Damn. Actually coming out with fire. Okay.
okay.
This how you trick all your guests? Like, yeah,
Whoa.
y'all,
Yeah. But
are you okay? You need a break already? You need a break already? No, I'm good, man. I'm good. You need a break. You need a bathroom break. I know how your bladders are really weak. I got my diaper on. Thank you, Ashton. I'm good. I'm good. Gee, gee.
anyways, you know, you want to like give us like a rundown of like your life, you know, where you came from and stuff like that.
Well, first I came from my mother's vagina. That's how it usually starts.
Sure.
Because it's called the birth canal. Oh, you
Yes.
mean my career? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So actually, it was from my father's testes, and then
Oh,
it went. Oh no, that's too far back. My bad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Yeah, and your mother's gonna listen to this too. She's gonna then talk to me. Your mom, your mother's gonna like Michael. Funny's funny, but that's my baby. Don't do that. Don't do that. But seriously, yes, I started. Basically, long story short, I started wanting to do comedy ever since I was in high school. When I did a talent show, and what you had to do is write up sketches and skits. And one time, some of the people forgot their lines. And some of those people meaning me. I was those people. I forgot my line. But I just improv right off the top of the head and off the dome. And people were just laughing at whatever I was doing. I just was coming up with things. I was what they call in the zone. And it just kept coming and coming. Pause. And yeah, I just want to make sure that you clean. But it kept coming, and it was just so. It just felt really natural for kids. My whole school was laughing, and then they saw me and they said, "Oh my God, you're so good! You do comedy." I'm like, "No," because Eddie Murphy is one of my idols. He still is my idol. So I always envision. Did you say he's not good?
No, I said no. Like yeah, right.
Oh, I was like, he's not good. He's not good. Whoa, I was about to shut this damn laptop. Like, yo, Ashton, this is don't you cross Mr. Murphy, the one of the greatest comedians ever to step foot on stage before Chappelle and Rock. Even Chris Rock says he's his idol and mentor, and he was us. And he, because at 22 he had his own special at 22 years old, which was unheard of in the 80s for a young black man, a blunt kid to have it. And he was on Saturday Night Live, I believe, at 19, which was 19. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Youngest performer at that time, and he was killing it. He was the only one. Saturday Night Live was on the way down until he came and pretty much saved the show. And if you YouTube or Google Eddie Murphy, you will see how the ratings jumped up, because anytime he was on screen, he just lit it up. And then from that point on, he did the 48 Hours. He did all these movies like Beverly Hills Cop, Golden Child, Coming to America. The first one, not the trash one that you saw, Coming to America. Not that one. Yeah, not that one. The good one. Look at the good one. And then when you, excuse me, like I said, he was 22. He had his first HBO special in DC, which was, as I said, unheard of for a kid to be that young and to be that confident. So looking at him, one, because he did what I like to do, which is make people laugh, and two, like everybody else, he looked like me. He was a black kid, hip, cool, and he spoke. Well, basically, he didn't speak. At that time I was in middle school, and he was in his 20s, and he was saying things I didn't really understand the jokes, because he was like sexual innuendos, and I was giggling because he said titties. I was like, oh, he said titties. I didn't even know what he was talking about, but it just was funny to me. But it was just the reaction of the crowd. So going forward to the high school thing, I had that bug that got me. And then when people said you should do it, and then I was kind of on the fence, and I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And then from that point on, I said, I'm going to do it. And then that was in Tampa, Florida, where we lived, which was a horrible place for a young kid of any color to live. That's where old people go to die. That's where they pretty much, I mean, you could hear a lung collapse. That's how quiet this place is. It's ridiculous. Oh my God, I could jog past people driving on the road. But anyway, so we went from Tampa and moved back to New York. I'm originally from New York, and I started doing comedy in New York. And then the first time I did comedy, on stage. It was a club called Chuckles Comedy Club in Long Island, New York, and I bombed. I bombed horribly, and
Oh, it
yeah.
was bad.
Oh, no, bad is an understatement. Bad is yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
oh,
You're doing a disservice to bad. It was terrible. It was to a point where I was so glad that I didn't have family members or friends there because they would no longer be my family or friends. They would just this
oh,
home. I would have to pretty much drop just walk home because they're like, I don't want that bad juju in my car. You need to get that trash act out of here. You garbage, man. Oh my God. You should try something else like welding or something, or maybe do a garden.
well,
You should be like a landscaper. And but I knew I loved it because even though I was bummed out, I went back the next week, and then I got my first, this was in front of strangers because the thing to backtrack is that you make your friends laugh, and then you make strangers laugh, and then after you make strangers laugh, then you get strangers to pay to watch you laugh, to make them laugh. And I was up to that second stage of having strangers laugh with me, not at me. And at that point, they were laughing at me because I was trash. But
yeah.
this time I went back and they had me, and then they were laughing with me because I had some good stuff. And it just kept continuing and continuing. And I kept at it. And then I went to Howard University and I studied
Oh
acting
yeah.
there. I went there. And then from Howard, then I started doing comedy in Washington. And then I came back to New York and continued doing there, which I got my first manager. And after that, I got on this show called Talk to Me on ABC, which did,
Didn't it get canceled?
yes, it did. It didn't talk to anybody. Thank you for pointing that out, Ashton. I like how
Yeah.
Ashton points out all the negatives. He's like, didn't they cancel Mike? Are you still on the Upshaws? Didn't they cancel you? Because you don't really do much. You didn't really have a lot of lines the first season. Do they like you up there? Ashton, I call him Sunshine because that's what he is. Ashton's all about sunshine.
Such crazy.
Yeah, he's all sunshine. That's why I make his ass throw up on the track when we run around, man. When I work out, I'm like, no, you do extra laps.
Yeah.
You do extra laps. I think it's a dark skin on crime thing, man. I think there's something going on.
Dark skin, dark skin.
Ashton hates his own crime. No, for real. But yeah. So I did talk to me, like you said, it got canceled, but it was a great experience, and
Mm.
I just gotten married at that time. Then I moved to Los Angeles. And then because all my representation was here, representation meaning managers and agents. And then I started doing that. And that's when the Bernie Mac show, I got that. And then
Oh.
there was a little lull because in acting, there's always a lull. There's always a dead period when no one calls you, no one knows your name. And you're like, damn, maybe I chose the wrong profession. Maybe my mom was right. Maybe I should have been a welder or a caretaker or, I don't know, a pole dancer. I don't know.
Cotton picker.
God, really, bro? See, look at this. See this?
Really?
He went back to slavery time. I wanted to keep it here. He's like,
Ashton, bro.
you want to be a cotton picker? What, you want to be a train porter? Coach Mike,
Yeah.
he could have said anything else. Anything else. God dang.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, we have to talk about your self-esteem, bro. Uh, but yeah, and then from that point on, I went from that from LA, and there was a lull. Then I went to Everybody Hates Chris, which was by far my biggest success because people started recognize me in gas stations and
Oh yeah.
supermarkets and bathroom stalls, which is not a great time to be talking to you while you're trying to do your. Hey man, I think I recognize you. Like, no, you don't. Not here. Can we recognize me outside, please? So that was cool. And then years later, that's when I got the Upshaws. And but comedy's always been my first love. It's what I enjoy doing because you're the writer, just like what you guys are doing right now, the podcast. You're the writer, producer, editor. You break it down and it's all you. No one's really telling you what to do, what to say, which is what I would say if this goes any further, always control your content. That's the important thing. And that's why I love comedy because you control your content. No one can really direct you or influence on what to say, how to say it, when to say it, because you're your own creator up there. And I've been doing it. And I actually, when I say professional mean being paid. I started being professional, I would say at 27, 28, actually
Oh,
20.
Wow.
So it takes a minute to start becoming professional when you actually start getting paid to do
right.
comedy, which is great. And but you know, it's one of the rare businesses where you can just continue doing. It's not one of those things like I gotta retire. This ain't sports, where you get a bad hip or you got CTE and you get a concussion unless someone throws a bottle at you or Will Smith comes and slaps the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been great, man. So yeah, and then I do the podcast thing because it gives me a chance to connect and talk, which I love doing. Which is why I
Hmm.
personal train as well because I get to talk. I love working out. Ashton, not so
Yeah.
much. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
because Ashton would ask me, so are we going to run this whole track? I'm like, no, Ashton, we're going to stop there. We're going to just double back. We'll do speed walking. Um,
Speed
yeah,
walking.
we'll speed walk. Yeah, let's just keep up here. We'll keep up with the lady that's 80 years old in the walker.
Yo.
So no, but it's just something that I love doing and something I'm going to continue to do. And like he said, I have a show later on. I'm doing two shows, and it's just something that keep me creatively stimulated and
Mhm.
always give it my own viewpoint and perception because there's a lot of things to talk about. And the thing is, some people are gonna like it, some people aren't. But like anything else, you just gonna have to take those because take that with a grain of salt because not everybody's gonna love you. As you can see, Ashton doesn't
Yeah.
love me. He talking trash about me. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, but like like going back to like your point on like like not everybody's gonna love you. I mean, like we've seen it. Like we've had some people who've been like, dang, like that podcast kind of sucked, or like
Wow. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
but it's
I mean,
it's
our first encounter was with that school account.
yeah,
We got like so much beef from it, but
yeah,
and we even tried to follow the account back, and they're like, "Who told them? Who told them?" Like,
yeah, but
well, the thing you have to concentrate on is and understand that when you clap back at someone, who does it benefit? You see what I'm saying?
hmm
It doesn't benefit anybody except your own ego. You're like, no, I'm gonna clap back at it, and then you just keep going back and forth. I try to concentrate on the people that I touch and that do like my stuff, as opposed to the people that don't. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, and I've been following and I've listened to your stuff. There's more people that like y'all stuff than the people that don't. You're gonna always have negative feedback. That comes with the territory. When you put yourself out in the public eye, that's always gonna happen. So you're just gonna have to somewhat embrace it. Be like, because the worst thing that people you don't want people doing is, hey, how do you like this show? I guess it's there. I mean, indifference is horrible because when it's there, I mean, do you like it or not? I don't know. I really don't know if I like it or not. I mean, that sucks. You want people to either love you or hate you. That's the best thing. If they don't like you, that means you gave them a feeling and they have a comment about it. If they love you, that means you're making them feel something. And the one thing I want to do, what you want to do, and what I want to do in my craft is make them feel something. So yeah, it's. I know it's going to be a growing process for you all, and for me, it's
yeah.
still a growing process. Even as old as Ashton has already pointed out that I am, it's always going to be a growing process, and you just have to just deal with it. You just have to understand, okay, and it does hurt sometimes. Like, ah, what the hell? I don't even know this person. And you try to follow them. You go on all the social media platforms. Then you try to find out, oh, how many followers this punk ass have, and you're like, oh, he's got 8. Oh, I'm not even, But it again, it doesn't make any sense to um, clap back because at the end of the day, I realize it's my ego talking, and I have to stay focused on the task at hand, which is to make the best art and be the best creator that I can be in order to put the stuff out that I know I feel that people like and that people want.
hmm
Because like I said, everybody, it's like sports. Everybody's gonna have a bad game. Like Michael Jordan and Kobe, they missed shots. They didn't make every game winning shot. Same thing with LeBron. But the ones that they do make and the one games that they are in the zone, those are the ones you remember. And the reason why they're great is because as much slings and arrows that they get and criticism, they still continue to do what love because that passion overrides any negativity that anybody could throw your way, you know?
Yeah, I really do like we really do resonate with that because like we also do have like some of that like same viewpoint and stuff like that. But like my like next question is like I mean you talked about how like like comedy like it's not really something that you could like retire from. It's like would you say that like comedy like makes you like feel like younger than like what you like really are?
Oh yeah, of course.
Mm,
Um, the reason why is because you're always creating, you're
mm.
always imagining things. You can't grow up. You know, it's kind of like because I make goofy jokes like the joke where did you come from? Oh, I came from my mother's vagina. Oh no, I came from my father's testes. It's stupid
Yeah.
jokes. It's almost like quote unquote dad jokes, but it keeps you mentally fresh, spiritually fresh, physically fresh. That's why I like working out. I like telling jokes. I like being around people that make me laugh, that keep me on my toes. That's why I like hanging out with Ashton and I work out with younger kids and all that. Well, I kind of like working out with Ashton, but
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
kind of sus
yes.
you
Oh,
work out with
But
younger
and
kids.
Ashton, I mean, I don't know if he works out. I mean, he carries the bags and he drinks a lot of water, but it does what it does. But no, I like working out and being around young kids because number one, they keep me up to date on what's hot in music, what's going on in pop culture, and also helps me with my material, so my material doesn't get stale. You feel me? I can't be talking about something that you guys weren't born for. You're like, yeah, you met Michael Jackson and Thriller. I'm like, what? I wasn't born. Yeah, yeah, the moonwalk. It was 82. He was a Motown. No one's gonna understand that. So you have to talk about, from Lil Baby to Lil Uzi, or what's going on with Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion, or
Mhm.
what even crazy ass Kanye. You know, yeah,
Yeah.
he's part of the clan. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, you gotta be fresh. So yeah, it does in a sense keep me young. It keeps me fresh and it keeps me just wanting to know. Because one thing you never want to do is stop searching for answers. And yeah,
Mhm.
you always want to always look for answers. I want to have that curiosity. And I think that's why you do this and I do the podcast as well, because you ask questions and then you find out things you never knew about yourself and the other person, and it just keeps you young. It just keeps you fresh because once you say, aha, I got it, that's the worst thing you can say is because then you stunt your growth.
Mhm. You know, like I mean, you mentioned like like hanging out with like little kids and
Hold
stuff
on,
like
hold on, hold
that.
on. Let's pause. Hold on.
wait.
Hold on. Ashton, please rephrase that. Let's rephrase that because this is going live, man. I don't want to
I
get
mean, like,
tweets and
You
DMs.
want to go take a walk real
Mr.
quick?
Next thing you know, Michael Estime has canceled from Upshaws because he loves to hang with little kids. Unfortunately, the part of Tony will not be
Yo,
coming back to the show. No, no, no. I said I like to be. I work out with high schoolers and kids to keep them in shape, and I like being around them so they can keep me on my toes as far as in public where everybody can see. So, all right, go
mm,
ahead, continue, man.
oh, you're like a father of three. I mean, four. My bad. Father of four. Like, how do you balance out like being like a father and like being like a comedian at the same time?
It's hard when your kids don't think you're funny. Um, that
Yeah.
sucks. Well, except for Jay. Jay, he's my true hype man. No, it's difficult, to be honest. Um, you have to, because your priorities change, and you have to understand that something's going to sacrifice. And a lot of the times I'm like, this father thing is crap. I hate it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you want to do what you want to do, but you have to understand that you have responsibilities. And on the flip side, you ever say, "Oh, this comedy thing is crap," because you're
Mm,
like, "Oh man, I'm gonna miss out on a football game or a soccer game. I got to be on the road or something like that." So there's a giving up, push and pull there. But you have to understand that there's the bigger picture, and once you understand what the bigger picture is, which is to a better life for yourself, and in turn, if there's a better life for yourself, then it's a better life for your family. Then it
Mm.
becomes a little easier, and then you are able to put things in perspective a little more. You feel me? So
Yeah, I feel it.
it's it can be difficult. It's a little easier now that the kids are older, so they
Yeah.
Yeah.
understand more. When they're older, they understand. Oh, dad's got to be out because he's doing this thing, and it also helped that my kids were fortunate enough to see me perform live when I was on a cruise ship, Carnival Cruise Line. So they didn't think I was just out there messing around and like they're just playing football or playing fantasy football league or soccer league. So they saw that I was actually making people laugh, and then they were like, "Oh, you are kind of funny. Okay, I thought you were whack, but all right. I guess people do like you. All right, cool." I mean, Quentin. I mean, he straight up. I mean, this is the teenage, and this is what y'all do. I had one of my best sets on the cruise, and I go like, "Hey man, you like you like you all right?" And I was like, "Oh my god,
You are.
whew.
Damn.
Oh, that was almost a standing ovation for me." So yeah, you just have to basically understand the bigger picture, have a perspective, and try to find a balance. You know what I'm saying? Always, and that's even before kids. Um, you all growing up, you always want to try to find a balance with this podcast because a lot of times this podcast will take a lot of your time and a
Yeah.
lot of your
Yes,
energy.
sir.
So you have to make sure because you have to do you have school and you have whatever obligations your parents are telling you to take out the trash, to do the dishes, fix your room, blah 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 blah. And you're like, okay, but now I have to carve out a time for me to do this. I have to carve out a time for me to be an editor. I have to carve out a time to do this interview. You just have to make sure that that balance is there, and
Mm.
that's what I would say is the most difficult thing. And again, did I master it? Not really. I'm still learning because there's certain times you'll be resentful. There's certain times you're gonna be like, I want to do this, but once you find that balance, you'll be able to fill that void inside of okay, this is my personal side and this is my professional side, and I'm gonna devote this much time to my personal. I'm done with that. Now I can do my professional, and then that's how I usually get along the day, get through the day, and most importantly, all my kids really support me, which is the best
Mhm.
thing. So it's not like, Dad, you never home with us. I don't know why. I'm like, then I'll be feeling like crap. I'm like, geez, I didn't really like you either. I didn't even know you were gonna be born. You know what I'm saying? But it does help that the kids are supportive. So, just taking a stride.
Like this is like I don't know if you like experienced this, but like I know you're not your second born son or your first. All right, how do you
Now,
say it?
okay, my second born would be Quentin because my firstborn is Autumn. That's my daughter.
Yeah. So
Second
that's
is Quentin.
so
Third is
Quentin.
Devin and Jaden. Yeah. So Quentin. Yeah.
So like Quentin, like Quentin actually became a rapper recently.
Yeah.
Q2 times. His music's on Spotify and Apple Music. If you
Yep,
want to check
give it
it
a
out,
listen. It's really
it's
fire.
it's it's
It's
really
really
fire.
fire.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
But
All
like,
right. You're gonna get his head all swole up. I'm gonna have to hear it. He's like, "Yo, Dad, I heard the podcast. See, I told
yeah,
you, he's fire." I was like, "All right, bro, calm down and put on
yeah,
the
but
shirt for
like,
God's sake. I don't know why you have no shirt on.
on the
Dude,
shit.
get it? You working out?
Yeah, but like, Quentin's like a rapper, and like, obviously, like we hear like rappers talk about, like all this like violence and like like shoot 'em up and like I'm fucking bitches and stuff like that like all that type of
Mhm.
stuff like I mean what is like the perspective of you as like a father of like a rapper because at any time something dangerous could happen to him or like something like that.
Um, Good question. I don't think about the negatives that could happen. Of course, I'm aware of it. The main thing that I told him to be aware of is his surroundings, to be conscious of who he is and not what he thinks he is or what people perceive him to be.
Mhm.
Meaning, only talk about, and this is I attribute this or pertain this to my comedy as well, is to make sure that you're as real and grounded as you are, and not try to fake and try to be, When the people say, you all say that's cap. You know what I'm saying? Don't that's cap. Don't lie. Don't lie on that. If
Yeah.
you've never shot a gun or you've never like rolled with your homies and turned over, chairs at Denny's or like raided a KFC, don't do that because that's not you. You were raised in Windsor Hills, one of the most affluent black neighborhoods in View Park. That did never happen to you. So stop.
Mhm.
So I'm glad he doesn't do that. He talks about things that he knows that he can relate to, that his friends can relate to, that hopefully his fans can relate to. And the one thing that I told him was if you're passionate about it, you can't be in minute 1 minute out the next in minute. You have to be completely focused and tunnel vision on it. You know what I'm saying? And that includes, as hard as it may be, because I've been there, and sometimes women and girls,
Mhm.
they will be there because of what they see or what they perceive you to become. And you can't use them or anyone, not just women, but anyone as a barometer of how they see you. You have to see yourself. You have to be cognizant, use your own perception of how you see yourself and how you want people to see you. So you shouldn't let other people's perception mold you. You should be able to mold yourself. So that was the main thing I told him. Like that's why I even told you, and you talked about it earlier about people writing stuff in your comments and saying, this podcast was trash. Oh my God.
Mhm.
You're can't let them control your emotions. When you let them affect you, that means they got you. When you respond back, that means they got you. You feel me? And I told them that, look, your music, everybody loves you. Everybody so far. But and you could have like 30 people that say, oh my God, you're amazing, you're great, right? But you could have one or two people say, this is trash. I don't even know why you guys are doing this. Or this is trash, Quentin. What is this? That will stick in your head. So I would say you take the good comments the same way you take the bad comments, which is you don't pay attention to them. If you want to say, hey, thanks, appreciate it. If someone comes with a bad comment, hey man, I thought your other stuff was better. All right, thanks, appreciate it, and you keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it personally, because as artists, we are vulnerable, we are sensitive about our stuff. So, long way of saying, man, I don't really, I don't really think about the negatives. I understand what's going on with PNB and King
Yeah.
Von and a dude, a brother from Memphis. I forgot he got killed.
Young Dolph.
Young Dolph, he got shot. And all these dudes, to Pop Smoke, all these young brothers that you wish you could see what would happen down the line. And it's because they were unfortunately probably around, and of course, the most popular Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
They were around. Even though they're trying to do what's right and be a positive influence, there's going to be people that are jealous of you. That's natural. There's going to be people that are jealous of you and envy, and sometimes people don't know how to translate those feelings or try to create or to at least communicate those. That's what unfortunate. So yeah, you gotta be. I just say keep your head on a swivel, bro.
Mhm.
Whoever was your friends in the beginning and were tight with you before you became Q2 times, you keep those people together. You keep those in that tight knit circle. Q2 times. Don't be Q2 and then it becomes Q3 and 4 and 5. Next thing you know, 6 times, and you got six people around you and you don't know who's who. So that was my main concern. That was my main message to him. Be true to yourself, be true to your friends, and be around positive influences. And if you see anybody changing pretty much, and hopefully he hears this, and this is for y'all too. If you see people changing around you and they're not the same that they were when they started with you, I mean, as painful as maybe, you got to get rid of them. You be like, yo, I love you. You my dog, you my boy, but this ain't working, you know,
Mhm.
and be true to them. So it's exciting. It's exciting. I'm a hater. He calls me a hater. He's like, yeah, you never like anything. I was like, nah, because everybody's, gassing you up. Like, oh my God, this is amazing, man. I'm gonna put this on my playlist and I work out to this. And I'm like, man, it's all right. You rhyming. Okay.
You
So,
rhyme me.
you
Nah.
rhyming. Yeah, you making the words rhyme. All right. So, but I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him because of the fact that he found something that he loves to do. and he's sticking with it.
Yeah. This is like, it's like a little personal question. You talked about women and stuff like that, and like,
Okay.
I mean, do you know like the concept of like Riz, Coach Mike? Like, I
Of
know
what?
Devin Riz.
Riz.
Yeah.
Okay, that rhymes with something else, but I'm not going to say it. That's it. That's good. That gets inappropriate real quick. What
Nah,
is
like,
Riz?
so basically, like the concept of Riz is like, like game, kind of like, like
Yeah.
pulling like women's. I'm
Oh,
I'm
pulling
surprised
ladies.
Devin.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like I'm surprised Devin hasn't like taught you about it. But like, I
No,
mean, like,
Devin, please come on, come on. Devin. Devin is not the risen type. He don't pull. I
yeah, but
mean,
like,
yeah, he'll pull like an anime quote out. He's like Katashi, and he was like, "Who would win, Goku or Vegeta?" I'm like, I don't, dude. I'm trying to take a shower. I don't know why you asking me this right now, man. Can this wait? Can I get out the shower?
yeah, but like, I mean, like. Coach Mike, I know obviously you're married and stuff like that, so like let's
Yes.
say let's say like do you think like cuz I'm a firm believer in this that funny guys pull like girls and stuff like that, like do you
Oh,
think
well,
like that's true?
let me stop you there. That's not even the truth. That ain't even true. I've been funny all my life, bro. And well, no, let me take that back. Yeah, because from middle school to high school, I was funny. I didn't risk nobody. I ain't risk Jack. I didn't pull no girl.
Damn.
What happened was I was funny to my other boy, and then they were like, "You're so funny. You're like a big brother. You're a little brother, Mike." Andy, Andrew, is he seeing anyone? Is Tony's? I mean, yeah. So I'd be funny. I'd be the funny wingman, or I'd be the funny dude on the side that makes
Mhm.
ladies feel comfortable. And I didn't know the power of laughter. That's how I got actually how my wife and I met. She met me at a comedy club, and it
Mhm.
didn't really start until I started doing stage. And also, Autumn's mom, yeah, Autumn's mother. We met at a play, and I was doing comedy, and so maybe that's why I'm in the entertainment business. Like, yo, this is pretty cool, man. I didn't even have to work that hard.
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
that's why. I'm like, yo, I don't have to buy drinks. I don't have to go to restaurants. I can save money. All I got to do is be witty. Um, no, it's just it's not necessarily the humor. It's actually just being yourself, really. Just being
Mhm.
truthful. It's just really being honest, being true. If you because a lot of times what I notice and when I started getting older is that especially like if there's a let's just like we used to call them a banging lady, banging chick, like she was just fine as hell. And
Yeah.
dudes and they don't, they try to
Yeah.
hyperventilating and they can't talk or and I
Yeah,
was one of
Devin's
those, and
faces that problem a lot.
What? How?
damn D, you see how you blew up your spot like that? He just threw you under the bus, bruh. Oh man, he played you. Yeah, or or you're saying, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful." Blah, blah, blah. Nah, you just want to be as normal and as real as possible. Like, hey, it would be as simple as, and I've done this. Like, hey, Matt, wow, you look really nice. I like that outfit. Really, you look really sweet. Oh, thank you. All right, I just want to say that. All right, take care, and you just walk off. Just take something like that, and then I could cause it. Hey, well, what class you in, or what are you up to? Oh, that's interesting. Because the one thing that people, especially women, like to do is talk about themselves. They want to hear,
Yeah.
what I'm saying. They really like to talk about themselves, and then if you are interested in what they have to say, because it's about the mind, it's about conversation, it's about being open, it's about being vulnerable. You know,
Hmm.
it's about just connecting on another level. Because physical is pretty easy. Physical is physical, because
Yeah.
for us men, we see a beautiful woman or girl and be like, oh my God, she's banging. But I'm sure a lot of dudes have said, wow, she's banging, and oh my God, and then they approach it on that level, as opposed to understanding who she is, what she likes, what they like to do. You know what I'm saying? And then she reciprocated back to you, say, well, what do you like to do? Like, well, I like blah, blah, blah. And you never know, you might have something in common. You feel me? And that's the thing, that's
Yeah.
the most thing you want to find. Or you might have something that you never thought that you would find interesting about her and vice versa, and be like, "Oh, I never thought about that." Well, tell me more about that. You know what I mean? So, it's and it's basically just knowing people, and it's not really about
Mm.
pulling, because if you think about trying to pull a chick, then you're not gonna pull her, because then you look
Yeah.
thirsty. But if
That,
you
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
then you look mad thirsty, like, oh, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say this, and you licking your lips, like, what's up, girl? So I'm just saying, you heard that new J. Cole album, they don't want to hear that, man. Just
Mhm.
just be you, just be as grounded and as truthful as you are can be, just like you are on this podcast. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
And the more real and grounded you are, the more real and grounded she is, because it's like dancing. If you take the lead, she'll follow. You
Yep.
feel me?
why
You
are you
take the
looking
lead,
at
she'll
me?
follow, and then she'll do her step, and then you'll react, and then you'll do your step, and then it's a nice little back and forth samba. I'm seeing looks, man. D, you trying to pull someone, man? Is someone in
No,
in
it's
your
just
mind?
it's just past experience. It's like I told him this advice and he just didn't listen.
Yeah. See, I told you, and over the head told you.
Like,
Now you gonna listen. Now you gonna
yeah,
listen. Yeah, it's true. Just be real, man. And it's natural to be nervous. Because let me
Mhm.
tell you something. As much as you're nervous, she's probably just as nervous.
Why you look at me like?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm serious. It
you
depends, because she
do.
might like you, and
Yeah.
if she isn't, then you be like, I mean, and it's worse than what we used to go back in the day, which we used to be in clubs. And we used to
Oh,
say, "Oh, I'm gonna go check that chick out," and then you have to walk all the way over to the club, all the way across the dance floor. Hey, can I buy you a drink? And maybe we could talk. And, And she's like, "No, I'm with my friends." You be like, "Oh, do you want to dance?" "No, I don't really like to dance. Me and friends." Okay. Then you got to walk all the way back. We're like, "Yo, she played him," and then it's like, "Oh my god!" It's like the walk of shame. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, at least you tried. That's all you
yeah.
could
At
do
least
is
you did.
try. I mean, at
But
least you try.
yeah. Like I've actually like had this like question in my mind for a while now, and like like I wanted to ask like a real comedian, because like we had an episode about humor, which is gonna come out on Monday probably, right?
Yeah, it's time recording this.
Yeah, and basically like I want to know like what are like your like because like you think you were taught humor or were you like not taught humor, were you think you were taught to be funny or are you just naturally like funny, you know?
Oh, I'm naturally funny.
Right.
I'm naturally funny. You start out being naturally funny, and then you learn how to tell jokes. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Everybody's naturally funny. Everybody has humor, but the next step is, as anything else, to first find the courage and the confidence to say, you know what, I think what I have to say is important enough for other people to hear what I have to say, so they can hopefully laugh with my perspective. And when the teaching begins, when you get on stage in front of strangers, and then you find and learning from other comics. Like I said, I learned Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor and uh, Martin Lawrence and Dave Chappelle, and even going back Bill Cosby before I knew he was rapey. It doesn't matter, but you know, I would learn from them. And you learn a style, and you try to either imitate or take something from that style, and you just take it from there. But I mean, people go to comedy schools, which is good because they want to get better at the craft. But I think it starts when you're naturally funny, and I think the best teaching in school is to actually go on stage and to take those hits and to receive those boos and those blank stares and everything, because that's the only way you get better. Um, yeah, I knew I was funny. I mean, I was good. Like I said, my father thought I was an idiot. He was like, "Oh, you're an idiot. You're stupid. My God, who's gonna pay to see that?" And then eventually they did. He's like, "I've always known he was funny." I'm like, "No, you didn't. Stop it, Negro. No, you didn't."
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I knew I was naturally funny, and it's something that I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to do it. And that's why I say Eddie Murphy. And then I started learning other comics. They gave me a roadmap and the steps to achieving that dream.
So like like here's going back to like like in like comedy, actually I kind of want to talk about like this situation because I was actually with you when this happened, the Will Smith slap.
Hmm.
Recently I saw on a podcast with Michael Blackston, like he was asked this question, like how had like the Will Smith smack like affected you, and his thoughts were like, it felt like Will Smith slapped every other comedian, like I mean I just want to know like did you like feel like the same like the same view on it?
No, I didn't. Because it was between Will Smith and Chris Rock. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? I mean, I was upset at the fact that he would take a joke that he would take offense to a joke that far, and pretty much go trying to be Thug Will, whatever the hell he's trying to be. Just I like, come on, Fresh Prince, that's not you. Get jiggy with it, not get slappy with it. Come on now. I mean, it was stupid. Yeah, yeah, you
yeah.
don't you don't do things like that. I didn't think it was a slap to the community because we as comedians know that, and I've experienced this on cruise ships. And when someone is not liked what I had to say, they would come up to me, I didn't appreciate yada yada. I'm like, okay, well, sorry to hear that. That's all I say. As long as the person don't touch me, we don't have a problem. But I'm not gonna change my act or what I said just to appease your sensitive ass. You feel me? And Will
Hmm.
got sensitive. He got sensitive, and it was unfortunate. It was something between those two men because and first and foremost, it was a two millionaires. So no, they didn't appeal to me. I can't appeal. I don't know what Chris Rock is going through. I don't know what Will Smith is going through. They're going through their separate thing. That's in their mind. That's in their livelihoods. Aside from the money, but those are two men, two high celebrities, high profile men, two successful black men in the entertainment
Hmm.
industry. And it's unfortunate that happened on the Oscars, but no, I didn't feel anything. It was just like I said, unfortunate. It was stupid, but going back to my original point, every comic knows you sometimes will say something that will offend people. And I've seen comics get glasses thrown at them. I've seen comics go into fights on stage. I've seen someone throw a chair. I've seen them get into fights in parking lots. So we know sometimes the risks that come with it. You feel me? Now, I wish Will had handled it better. Now, if he did it behind backstage, like, yo, okay. But it was in front, I think, because the thing that really resonated with everyone, especially black folks, is that it was produced
Yeah.
by a black producer, Will Packard. It was Will Smith, a black actor, was nominated. Questlove was nominated for best documentary of Soul of Summer. So it was like a celebration of black excellence that many white folks have never gotten a chance to see, and this would probably change the perception and perspective of how they view black folks and
Yeah.
successful black people. And for that to happen, kind of put a dark cloud over that whole celebration. And I think that's where he may be talking about it was a slap to not just comics, but to all of us striving to reach to that goal and to hopefully chip away at that perception. That's where it was disappointing. But as far as slap to me, no, I didn't get slapped. I'm fine. I mean, I went and did comedy the next day. I didn't have a bruise. Now, Chris, he may feel some. That shit hurt him. I was fine. I didn't have no bloody lip. I didn't have no headache. Um, I was fine. It just gave me more
Yeah.
material. It just gave me more material. That's all it did with me. I mean, hopefully, but everybody was doing so. Um, that was, I think I think in my opinion, I think that's what Michael was saying. But as far as comics all over, nah, man. I mean, they were just mad because they're like, yo, we can say what we want to do, and Chris, I think he did every comic proud. He acted like a professional. He still did the award ceremony as his face
Yeah.
is throbbing from a freaking slap to the face and a sting,
Yeah.
from being dig 'em smacked. But yeah, man, it was that yeah, I didn't feel like, oh my God, this offended me. No, because what it did was motivate me harder to really say what I want to say.
Mm,
And I hope every comic stands their ground. Like, we're not no punks, man. I mean, yes, we love to laugh, we love to entertain, but you will respect us. And and it made me proud that the comedy community, comedians, even people that weren't comics, banded together and in support of Chris. Plus, he got more money for his concert.
yeah, that is true.
It bumped up. So that slap, man, I want someone to, I mean, maybe slap the shit out of me or stab me in the shoulder or kick me in my nuts. Oh my God. Oh, Mike has a special. Yeah. Woo, that kick in the nuts. That did something. If it bumps up my price and my quotes, hey, do what you can. I mean, I'll talk crazy. Not Kanye crazy, but I'll talk a little crazy about someone's woman.
Not Kanye
Uh,
crazy.
so yeah.
But anyways, I mean, like Douglas, you have a question
I mean, we're running out of time,
Yeah,
bro.
I know you have a
Oh,
show
okay. Hey man,
afterwards.
thank you. But yeah, just want to say thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you haven't seen the Upshaws, there's 3 seasons. Well, there's going to be a third season. Please check it out.
Hmm.
Thanks for watching. Everybody hates Chris. Risky, not Rusky. Whatever he said. Yeah.
Ashton.
I don't know how you get Risky and Tony mixed up. I thought he was going to say Tisky or Toski. I don't know what the hell's going
Toasty.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And and then I'm just again, passion, do what you love, and continue to strive to be great. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. We really want to appreciate you because
Yeah,
you've been like amazing guest, one of the most interesting guests. No offense to,
yeah.
the other two. And
So good. No, you can say I was the best one. That's all right. It's okay.
yeah, you're all right,
I mean,
I,
okay. You see, that's yeah.
nah,
See,
you're
that's
the
what.
best.
Yeah.
You're the best guest, Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
But make sure you do good on your show, my
Thanks,
mom's gonna
man.
be out there, so
Wow. Wow, that
yeah.
was really encouraging. And make sure you do good on the show because if you bomb, we're gonna have to cancel this episode. We're gonna have to
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
damn. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Ashton's pump me up. Yeah, he doesn't say, "Hey man, have a great show, break a leg." Hey, you better do good on your show because if my mom says you were trash, I'm gonna talk about you on the podcast. So
Yeah, so
I'll try to do my best, Ashton. Thank you so much.
yeah, hi. But
Hey, well,
really appreciate you.
yeah. Thank you for coming on
Thank
today's
you,
episode.
man.
We'll see you.
Thank you. All right, take care of yourself.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
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 But anyways, I mean, that was a good
That was
episode,
fun.
But I mean, I think it shows like like how we're just trying to expand like our guests
Yeah, our podcast in general.
yeah, because
Um,
I hope y'all know that we I know this is amazing episode and amazing
this
guests.
was by far probably my favorite.
Yeah, that,
Even better than the hub one.
yeah,
Like this has been my favorite.
yeah, and I hope y'all know you don't have to be our age to be on here.
Exactly.
You if you are interesting,
Yeah, we don't care who you are. What we do,
I mean we don't
like
care.
in terms like
Don't be
it doesn't matter if you're like short, tall, you're young, you're an adult, you're like from Asia, from Europe, from here. I don't know.
yeah,
That
exactly,
we appreciate you guys for like watching our videos and
exactly,
whatnot.
and
And we even appreciate any hate or any love we receive from y'all.
yeah, and
Um,
but
I low key before this, I was shitting myself. He was just looking at me. It
yeah.
was like I was like sweating and stuff.
And I hope we have more great guests like him, I mean, every guest that we have has been great, but
Yeah,
this has just been like a kind of like a
it's like a
milestone.
pretty big step
This
up
has been
for
like
us.
a pretty big step
This
up,
has been like our biggest achievement,
Yeah,
probably.
exactly,
Um,
and it's just one man, But
exactly.
anyways, I forgot what I was gonna say. I had something in my mind, and oh yeah, Coach Mike also forgot to plug his podcast, Scary
Yeah,
Funny.
scary funny.
It's
I watched the
it's
first
yeah,
episode. It's
it's
pretty good.
it's really good.
Yeah, y'all should really go watch it.
I think he might have 5
Yeah,
episodes
5 episodes.
by the time
Yeah.
this is out. So make sure you
Again, congratulate to Mike
uh
for third season of the Upshaws
yeah
coming next year, right?
yeah
Go watch it.
and yeah, follow him on all social medias.
We'll link his social media, all of his shows, whatever, you
Yeah,
know.
but
He's a really great guest.
yeah, he
Again,
really
thank you coming on.
we really appreciate it, And that was it was such an amazing episode. We don't even know how to end it.
Even I was quiet the whole time. I was just like I just like zoned out the whole time. I was
Yeah,
like
I had to carry a little bit,
he did.
But anyways, I guess that's really it for
Without
us.
further ado, we see y'all
Um,
next week. Without further outlookers,
signing
signing
off.
off.